Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to dig into why that popular growth mindset idea can sometimes fall flat right when you need it most. We'll look at what the science of our own bodies tells us about a better way to build resilience, especially when you're on the volleyball court.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a scenario that, well, if you've been around a competitive court, you've definitely seen this play out before.
Okay, picture this. The pressure is cranked all the way up. It's late in a super tight match, and every single point matters. And then it happens. A player misses an easy serve, one they could probably do in their sleep. And you see it happen instantly, right? It's not even a thought. It's just bam. The shoulders tense up, the breath gets short and shallow, and their whole world just shrinks down to that one mistake.
So in comes the coach, totally well-meaning, with that classic advice we've all heard. Hey, shake it off. It's a learning opportunity. It's logical, it's positive, it's supposed to work.
But here's the thing. It doesn't. Instead of helping, the player just gets more and more frustrated, maybe even angry at themselves. They seem to spiral. So what's going on here? Why does good advice sometimes fall completely flat?
Well, it turns out the problem isn't the advice itself. Not at all. It's the timing. See, we're trying to talk to the logical part of the brain when the body's more primitive alarm system has already taken over.
And this is really the core of it all. That high-stakes mistake, it doesn't just feel bad. It literally triggers a physiological threat response. The brain's main priority just flips, from let's learn and be flexible to let's protect ourselves and survive.
And look at this comparison. It's just so clear, right? On one side, you have a regulated brain. It's in learning mode. It's flexible, open to feedback. But on the other side, that's the threat-activated brain. It's all about self-protection. It's rigid. It's defensive. And here's the kicker. You can only give constructive feedback to one of them.
So this just changes the whole conversation, doesn't it? We have to ask ourselves, is what we're seeing really a lack of effort or a bad attitude? Or is it a moment of complete physiological overload?
Okay, so with that understanding, we get to a whole new game plan, a much more effective sequence for building real, lasting persistence. And it's pretty simple. Soothe before you solve.
And man, this quote from Dr. Patrick McAuliffe just hits the nail on the head. Belief rarely updates when the body is bracing for impact. You just can't teach a lesson or update a belief when someone's nervous system is preparing for danger.
You know, it's funny, we already know how to do this instinctively. Think about it. When a little kid has a full-blown meltdown, you don't start lecturing them about learning from their mistakes, right? No, you soothe them first. You calm them down. It's the exact same principle for a high-level athlete under incredible pressure. So the core principle here is that regulation has to come before growth. The point isn't to get rid of stress. That's impossible in sports. The goal is to help the athlete's body get back to a regulated, steady place so that it can actually absorb feedback and grow from it, instead of just resisting it like another threat.
Okay, so that's the what. But what about the how? Let's get practical here and look at a toolkit for regulation, pulling some really great actionable steps from a framework called the Flow Mental Performance System.
All right, first up for athletes, there's this simple but super powerful skill called STOP. It's an acronym, right? S is for stop. Just pause that immediate negative reaction. T is take a breath. This physically starts to calm your nervous system down. O is for observe. Just notice what's going on inside you. My heart's pounding, my hands are sweaty, but without judging it. And then P is for proceed. Now you can choose your next move intentionally.
And for you coaches out there, the big shift is from correction to connection. Now, this does not mean you lower your standards. Not at all. It means you create a sense of safety first. You soften the edge of your voice. You make it clear that a single mistake doesn't define them as a player. You actually normalize the stress they're feeling. Give them a second to recover before you jump into the X's and O's. That creates the environment where they can actually meet those high standards you have.
So what's the payoff? What happens when you actually do this consistently, when you really put regulation first on the court?
Well, the whole dynamic shifts. I mean, look at this. The old way, feedback feels like a personal attack, like a verdict on your worth, and it makes you defensive. But in this new model, that exact same feedback just feels like data. It's just helpful, objective information. It gets you into problem-solving mode and actually fuels your persistence instead of draining it.
And this is how you start to build what the experts call competitive durability. Challenge stops being something you just have to survive, and it becomes something you can actually metabolize. Break it down, learn from it, and use it to get stronger. You're not just bracing for impact anymore, you're processing it.
Which brings us to a really big final question, one that kind of challenges everything we've been taught about being tough.
Is real resilience about just pushing harder, gritting your teeth, and ignoring how you feel? Or is it actually about getting better at stabilizing sooner?
If you want to dig deeper into these tools from the Flow Mental Performance System and really figure out how to apply all this stuff to your own game or your coaching, you can find a ton more info at flowmpc.com.